Hello, I am Sunil Raj, KD Puliyarthala, working as PRO in the NGO, namely Cherusmi Center at Valethura, Thiruvananthapuram. In today's video, I am going to tell you about a law meant for women, that is, Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act. In Malayalam, it can be termed as Gargika Akramathil Ninnum Streekale Samrakshikal Act. This act came into existence in 2005 and the rules related to this act were framed in October 2006. I wish to share a few good information about this law through this video. Before that, I invite you to watch my previous video posted on my YouTube channel, namely Aravind Logam. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. If you like my video, like it. Please take care to share it to other viewers also. The aim of this law is to protect women from any kind of harassment which she faces in a household, that is, on her husband's house. That is, this law will protect that married woman if she is suffering from any kind of harassment from her husband or relatives of her husband. I will tell you about the harassments now. Harassment may be mental harassment, physical harassment, financial harassment, or sexual harassment. For example, if the husband or his relatives harasses by telling torturing things such as you are not beautiful, you are black, you are unable to deliver children, you are unable to deliver boy child, dowry you brought is not enough, your relatives are not good, you are good for nothing, etc. It can be termed as mental harassment. Apart from that, if the woman is beaten up by her husband or he hurts her body, perhaps under the intoxication of liquor, it can be termed as physical harassment. Apart from that, demands such as more dowry should be brought, as the dowry already brought is not enough. Properties belonging to the wife's family should be given under the possession of husband, or forcibly possessing the gold ornaments of wife not willing to give money for her livelihood, etc. can be included in financial harassment. If the wife is forcibly persuaded for sexual relationship, it can be considered as sexual harassment. By the by, not the husband only can be sued for harassing a woman, but her husband's parents or siblings, if they harasses her, can also be sued under this law. Let's discuss on who should be approached for justice by the woman undergoes harassment. A complaint can be filed or submitted to the protection officer who has the jurisdiction of the place by the woman who has undergone harassment or some other person on behalf of the woman. Normally, written petition can be filed, but if the situation demands, petition can be orally also. In that case, protection officer himself writes the complaint on paper and to make the petitioner sign on it. After that, the protection officer prepares a domestic incident report based on this complaint and submit the same to the magistrate. And if the petitioner approaches the service providing center of the place for help, then the legal advisor of the center will prepare the DIR and submit it before the magistrate. In Kerala, 101 legal service providing centers are there for helping people suffering from this kind of harassment. The petitioner who approaches a service providing center gets the following helps. First one is they help in filing complaints. Second one is they conduct mediation sessions with the help of an experienced counselor by sitting together with the two affected parties in order to check whether the problem can be solved amicably in the service providing center itself. Third one is they help to obtain doctor's certificate for proving the physical harassment if the woman has undergone physical harassment. Fourth one is they will avail the service of a psychologist or psychiatrist for the woman if she is undergoing a mental trauma, harassment, and obtain report from the doctor on her condition in order to submit before the court. And fifth one is to avail the lodging facility in shelter homes for a woman if she is not willing to stay in her husband's house. I have already told you that there are 101 service providing centers working all over in Kerala. Cherusmi Center, situated at Valethura, in such a kind of service providing center where everybody who approaches for help can get all such services absolutely free. A protection officer is working in each district of Kerala. In Trivandrum district, the protection office is situated at Pujapura. From these officers, the petitioners get the same kind of services that a service providing center gives. When there is no solution is evolved in a mediation done in service providing center, the center submits cases before the magistrate. The magistrate in such kind of cases can issue protection orders in favor of the petitioners. Let's discuss on that. If the court is of the view that the case is prima facie substantial, it can pass protection orders in favor of the petitioner and prohibit the other party from doing the following things. First one is, the court prohibits the other party from doing any kind of atrocities against the petitioner. Second one is, the court prohibits the other party from entering the workplace of the petitioner or any other place where the petitioner goes regularly. For example, if the petitioner is a student, the other party can be prohibited from entering her educational institution. Third one is, the court prohibits the other party from communication with the petitioner in oral, written or using telephone or any other electronic media. Fourth one is, the court prohibits the other party from using the bank locker, ornaments or money belonging to the petitioner without the consent of the court. And the fifth one is, the court can pass an order to send the petitioner's children under the protection of petitioner itself if she applies for that. Next, the court can deliver the following orders in connection with the residence of the petitioner. First one is, the court can pass order prohibit the other party from ousting the petitioner from the possession of a partitioned house. Second one is, the court can direct the other party to move away from the partitioned house. But one thing, if the other party is a woman, then court cannot direct this way. Third one is, the court can prohibit the other party or his relatives from entering the part of the house where the petitioner resides. Fourth one is, the court can stop the other party from selling the partitioned house or causing any financial liability to the house. And the fifth one is, the court can stop the other party from sacrificing his legal rights in a partitioned house without the consent of the court. Next, the court can deliver the following orders related to money. The court can direct the other party to give compensation to the petitioner if the other party has caused any kind of financial loss to the petitioner or her child. The court can order to the other party for giving alimony to the petitioner and her child. This amount can be given in lump sum or a monthly basis. The court can direct the officer of the police station concerned to assure that the kind of orders passed by the court, which I said earlier, is strictly obeyed. If such orders are not obeyed, the police can register cases against the other party. So, these are the brief description about this law. I think that you like this video. Until I come with a new video, it's bye from Sunilraj K.D. Puliyarthala.